consciously eating.
Another day, another video. Welcome to the first Pro League Best of 3 Season 4. With me today we have the great Slimmer helping me cast this 2 versus 2, and hopefully he will point out the things I miss, because can be quite a lot of action. In general, who do you think is favored here? I think Klunee and Diontep are very skilled players, and when you combine them, they might be a bit stronger than MisterCool and Jawesome, right?
Yeah, glad to be here casting with you consciously. This is exciting because this is the first 2v2, I believe, of the new Pro League season. And the first 2v2 we've had in Pro League, so that's exciting. But yeah, to answer your question, I am not familiar with MisterCool, to be honest at all. I'm not really familiar with Klunee as well. But just going off of like ladder records and kind of what I know of these players, I would say Klunee, Diontep a little bit favored here. Kind of assuming MisterCool is kind of a mid-low level player, so we'll see how this goes. But then again, you know, preparation can come into play here as well. We'll see what kind of builds both teams go for. Already, Jawesome is going for a really unorthodox build here. This is a lair. This is a castle before anything else. This is a house castle off of 8 workers. Yeah, absolutely insane play. Absolutely insane.
I think that's I think his plan now is to go full ham with dragons on his opponents, and I think Diontep and Klunee starting with Rex now. I think they will obviously do Raider, at least one, but then they can just transition into archers and be fine, right? Yeah. And Jawesome will just be economically behind.
Yeah, so this is where, as a teammate of Klunee and Diontep, so I'm a little biased here, I will admit, but they told me that they have a plan for this map, and it's actually pure archer, I believe.
Oh, that would
So they're going to go 4 racks archer pressure. That's just their build here.
Ooh, okay, and we see it. So no expansions, no nothing? They just do archers now?
Yeah, it's a rush. It's interesting because I kind of like the thought behind it, because most of the time in 2v2s, you get some mixture of Wolf Raider early game. Kind of either light pressure or getting into expansion, something like that. But if you just have a massive archer ball, there's a critical mass point where the amount of archers just overwhelms Raider Wolf in the early game. So I think the idea is just to kind of hit with a surprisingly large amount of archers, and then once archers kind of get to a snowball point, they just roll over everything.
At what point is that reached, do you think? Like, what supply would be...
I don't know. Once you have like 8 to 10 archers, I think that's pretty tough for...
So
like...
each of them, or both combined?
No, just in total, yeah.
All right. Okay.
So like a couple, maybe 2 or 3 more rounds of these archers coming out, they're going to have almost 10 archers out, which is going to be really tough. But, so the archers are obviously going to deal with small numbers of dragons. They're not great against large numbers of dragons, but it'll be interesting to see how these archers stack up against the dragons. In general, I think I'm pretty happy with Klunee Diontep's position here.
Yeah, but they are not aggressive. They don't move out. They wait at their base. I think that's... I don't know, maybe a mistake. Maybe they could already wait in the middle or something, intercept this wolf or so.
So what it is, it comes down to timing here. You don't want to push with too few archers because you can just get surrounded and overwhelmed here. This is about the right timing. Klunee's a little bit slow here. Klunee should be moving together. I think they should be pushing now. But I don't think you want to show your hand too early with this build.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Actually, not really sure why Diontep has more archers than Klunee. Oh, I see. Klunee went for extra workers. So Klunee went a little more eco here. Pretty small, minor difference.
So it's 1 more. I think no, actually 2 more, right? Yeah. Two more workers.
So this is going to come down to the dragons here, because MisterCool's not going to have enough to handle this force. A little bit of a mistake from Diontep pushing up before Klunee's forces were there, so that was a 1v1 instead of a 2v1. Yeah. But now that the archer army is here, I mean, it's really tough to deal with this many archers.
Isn't wolves and archers like great versus archers in general.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid composition, but again, it's just a numbers game here. There's only 5 archers for MisterCool. There's a total of like, I don't know, 12, 13 archers here.
Oh, and Jawesome loses
One dragon goes down. Clunee's got a tower rush as well. This is a 6 HP dragon, but I think it's going to get sniped pretty easily by the archer
one
push.
Hit, right? It is enough. GG.
Yeah. And the problem with the dragons here is they're just too expensive. Jawesome can't really afford to build that many dragons. There's no need to attack the tower. I think this army can just swing and kill the production from MisterCool. And there's just no stopping this archer flood from Klunee and Diontep here.
Yeah.
Like, the archers are just going to kill everything here.
Yeah. MisterCool is trying, though. Trying to get some damage in. But I think Jawesome, by losing both of these dragons, that's really putting them behind and in a dire spot now. But
Yeah,
I think
I
I like this.
Really lean.
Yeah, I like this kind of pincer movement where you have the dragons on the tower on Jawesome's side on the main base, and then you have from the top, from the low ground, literally. MisterCool poking in and getting damage in, so they handle it pretty
nicely. It's one
nicely.
of those things where if this army was all one player, I think it actually would be a lot cleaner for both players.
Yeah.
Because they could just move on to MisterCool's forces and just kind of kill the archers. I think this is a little bit of a mistake from Diontep Klunee. They're being a little indecisive with where they're going. I mean, where their archers are standing is like the least important place on this entire map. They could either kill the production or go kill MisterCool's worker line. But they don't want to fight into that tower. That's a little bit of a poor position.
Yeah.
And
MisterCool
killing
pulling
the workers for MisterCool.
Yeah. He pulled workers even, like, not sure why though.
Yeah, I think the workers were just for extra HP tanking here. Klunee's got to be a little careful with his archers. He doesn't want to lose them. But MisterCool is down to like, what, 3 workers here?
I think one,
maybe 2
actually.
workers.
It's 1 worker. No, 3. You're actually right. Yeah, 3. And now he has 2. Yeah.
Now down to 2. But I think just that alone is enough for this game to be almost over because, I mean, Diontep and Klunee are just producing off of a full mine here. And there's just no production for MisterCool and Jawesome.
Yeah, they can kind of hold position now, and that's it. And if I would be Diontep or Klunee, I would take an expansion now. Just a natural, and I'm good.
Yeah, they could expand here. They could just also just keep pressuring because there's no tech here for Awesome and
catapults would be the death. Like the catapults would be optimal now, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit worried. I mean, if you already pointed that out earlier, if Jawesome can now get up with his dragon count, that might be actually a bit troublesome to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, this is where if you want to be really safe, you could just throw down an advanced workshop.
Yeah.
Start getting ballista out. Because, yeah, once you get, like, a bunch of dragons, it's a little bit problematic. There's only, like... I mean, there's 15 archers on the field against, like, 4 dragons. The dragons will counter now. But that's going to leave the entire base open to this Rax force, and MisterCool doesn't have the units to defend here.
Yeah. And he's losing production as well. So only beasts now, only wolves for him now.
Once this small pack of archers dies for MisterCool, like he's pretty much out of this game completely, and it's a 2v1 at that point.
Yeah. So maybe Jawesome now will try to intercept, and he's actually doing that, intercepting the reinforcements. I'm not sure if it's enough though.
It's kind of a nice idea, picking off a couple free archers in the middle of the map, but yeah, it's just not enough. I mean, yeah, MisterCool is just dead here. There's no workers left, essentially.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jawesome had a really bad supply block there.
Yeah.
And he's actually floating, which, I mean, when you're on one base in such a tight game, you cannot be floating money here. This is really rough.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be building something. Towers, anything, honestly.
Did MisterCool lose all the workers? All his workers? I think, yeah. So
yeah, he has 0 workers, so he's completely done here.
So Jawesome has to carry this now. But I think the archers are still in too high numbers on the field for him to really be. Yeah, this dragon
interesting game so far here. I have to say I'm impressed with MisterCool's control. I feel like his archer play actually was better.
Yeah.
Than Diontep and Klunee here. Like he microed it pretty well.
Yeah.
Throughout. I just think it's a little bit of a build order loss, just because. I mean, I'm a little questioning the double dragons to begin with, but I mean, obviously, when you're up against just mass archer, it's kind of like exactly
Yeah.
what you don't want to be seeing, you know?
It was a
It's like,
line counter, literally.
yeah,
Unfortunate for Jawesome. I like the idea, though. I like this very aggressive approach, and the other players kind of going for an economy build or something. That would be, I think,
yeah.
the optimal thing.
Yeah, something I'm excited for with this season of Pro League is just kind of seeing what the 2v2 meta kind of develops as, because
Yeah.
it's a very unexplored space with builds and how it's going to be played. So,
Yeah. I hope we will see 2v2 in the next Pro League seasons as well, honestly. I think 2v2 is really something which gives Little Wargame like a new layer of excitement, and where people can be competitive who are otherwise in one-on-one might be a bit underrated or struggling or whatever. And in 2v2 you can really just find a good mate, you really vibe with, and then you can really flesh out some nasty tactics and have really, really good results versus very good players who just are not able to handle the, I don't know, insane tactics you come up with. So yeah, 2v2 always great for excitement in esport or in
I
RTS
agree.
in general.
And just in general, I feel like Little Wargame is a pretty well set up game for 2v2. I mean, it's there's no race imbalance that happens. Any rushes or cheeses you can always kind of balance with map architecture, you know?
Yep.
So I feel like there's a lot of potential for 2v2 to be super fun. There's not a lot of like in competitive RTS, I feel like there's not a lot of 2v2
Yeah, no,
like
there's no
StarCraft
there's no
not
competition.
a good 2v2 game, for example. So it's kind of cool.
And here we see.
That's game there. That is game 1 done.
All right.
First point on the board for Team Glaba.
Let's dive into the second game. So in general, have you played Excavation Site yet?
No, this is my first time looking at it. I like the just the architecture on it. It looks pretty neat. The doodads and everything looks cool, so I like it so far. Yeah, obviously this is more defensive than Triton, actually.
Yeah, you can really turtle down here. But also, like when you turtle, the most the most obvious or strongest thing you can do on a map where you can turtle like that is, I think, air. So I try to make air like not that strong on the map, and you have actually a lot of air and ground where you cannot really fly. So air units would be stuck on the edges, so in the corners in general. Meaning air is not the strongest you can play here. So turtling up and then going for something with mech or beast is, I think, the preferred way at the moment. But that's coming from me having this map played by myself like most 10 times or something like that. And I've seen it played, I don't know, 10 more times. So in general, I have seen 20 games on this map. And from what I've seen, I think mech and beast are the strongest to be played here. Although Rex also that works too, but it's just in general like superior to mech and beast in general, especially in open ground, right?
It looks like this third base down below for the left team and above for the right team looks pretty easy to defend, and pretty far away too. So, but then I'm looking for like your fourth base, kind of where MisterCool is going with his den. That's a little more open, but still pretty defensible. So, definitely a 6-base setup looks pretty easy to secure on this map, which, as you said, definitely could lend yourself to some mech play. A lot of these mines look like they could be harassed by catapults kind of nicely. Like this low ground mine, I feel like you could drop catapults on the high ground and then
if you ping, I don't know if you can ping as a spectator. Try to ping and maybe I see the ping.
I forget. What's the ping
K
again?
In K, it's K. Yeah, I see the ping. Yeah, okay. This one, yeah, this is actually kind of droppable. But this is like intended because I don't want to like in the first thing is you can mine here from both mines. So if one player decides to take this one as the natural and give his his mate like the economically best position he can get in the early game, then that's boosting the the efficiency in general. Meaning that you in the later stages either end up with one player having too many mines and the other player having way too little, meaning that it needs to be a
Yeah.
bit risky here, right? You
But
don't want to make
by
it
the
too
way,
easy.
we're probably not going to see that because we
Yeah,
missed the
yeah.
fact that it's a 3 den from both Jawesome and MisterCool, and they're up against just a 1 racks
Yeah,
castle 1 den. So I feel like Jawesome and MisterCool need to start going. I feel like they're a little
yeah,
slow here. Like
yeah.
pooling wolves at this point isn't going to help them because they're just giving their opponents time to get units up. I think you want to overwhelm the production with this many wolves.
Yeah.
They have to kind of just go now, I feel like, but they're going, so here we go.
Let's see how this
Curious to
goes.
see if they add snakes, either of them. Jawesome and MisterCool. I feel like snakes in this position could be good.
I think with 3
Just to
then
help
it's
you.
very hard to support, right? And to get this
No,
upgrades and stuff.
you can do it. You can do it. Because actually, you even producing off of 3 den, you actually will get a little extra gold.
Oh,
So
really?
you're gonna cut a
Okay.
little bit of wolves, but you can definitely get snakes on 3 den.
Okay.
Super
Interesting
all in though,
choice.
obviously.
Look at this. They both attack from 2 sides. Little do they know, Klunee already kind of blocking this way up here.
Yeah.
And the way below is also kind of blocked by Diontep. So that will be very hard to get in here, actually.
Yeah, I think the Team Glaba can put some towers down here. Like they can buy a lot of time by just throwing some towers and then repairing and blocking.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be tough for these wolves to push through, I feel like.
Yeah.
Diontep's doing a nice job with his raiders here, keeping Jawesome off. And
feel
Mr.
like-
Cool is not really pushing through the wolves yet. Ooh, okay, tower block.
And now they have to rethink their plans.
Well, 2 wolves clicked on that tower, I think will kill it though.
Yeah.
But he's not. What is he doing? He's just dancing over here. He needs to click down on those.
Yeah, they're just
Oh
retreating
gosh,
now.
Jawesome. Oh, this is a good grab from MisterCool though. He's making.
Yeah, he's doing
Klunee
really good on
lose some.
this. Yeah, he's doing good on this side.
Oh
But
man,
Jawesome, look at
Jawesome
Jawesome.
missed. He could have been biting away at this entire time. He needs to
Yeah.
rearrange it so there's 2 wolves hitting that tower.
Yeah.
But he's kind of being sloppy about it. He's only having 1 wolf.
I think
the tower.
even like it's now like 3 wolves attacking the house and 2 are attacking the racks and 1 is only attacking the wolf, the tower. I think it's still fine though, because look at this. MisterCool is getting in and he can actually, if he's seeing it, he can just attack from the other side and then they get down this whole kind of wall here maybe. Ah,
Yeah,
no.
maybe the wolves
Oh,
on
they
either
changed
side
it.
can kill this tower, and it's about half health already.
Yeah.
If Mr. Cool can get his wolves clicked on it, I think he can actually kill it here.
Yeah, they're trying to.
But so many wolves are dying here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many wolves are dying. I think it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and it's again only 1 wolf attacking the tower.
And the situation is there's so many workers here for both Klunee and Diontep now that like there's so much HP to actually burn through. I think this game's pretty much over. There's already archers. There's repair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
there's
hit
just
a-
way
they-
too much.
They hit the wall kinda. Like
Yeah.
in a real sense. Like it's really a
yeah.
wall they hit.
And honestly speaking, I feel like a little bit of maybe not the best build order choice for this map because they
Yeah.
did choose this map. I'm curious if they were actually thinking through their build order for the map because
Yeah, on the map it's
just
a bit
so
big
easy
and
to
stuff.
defend both
Yeah.
walls here. Like the walling from Klunee Diontep was just very clean.
Yeah.
Made it really hard for the wolves to push in.
But I think they are
The other
not
thing-
that far behind. They can actually just set up base now and be good. Maybe Jawesome takes
no.
it and make a
There-
nice double map, and then they can just kind of make something work. See how they do.
No, you can't. Look at the worker count. It's 7 and 8 workers to like 20 and 16. 2 full bases up. Like
Jawesome.
you'd have to put like the worst players in Little War Game against the best players in Little War Game, and it would still be a tough battle at this point, just because there's so much gold advantage from Diontep and Klunee.
Do they trap the wolves here?
Oh,
Maybe.
they might get a little trap here. That's nice. A little bit sloppy from Klunee, but he's gonna sneak out. Good control there from the wolf player.
Yeah.
Gonna sneak away with his wolves.
Yeah, I don't really like the position of the castle from Jawesome. He could mine from 2 bases and just produce workers now, and he's just not producing
Oh,
workers.
that's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's one way to really kind of hyperspace is if Jawesome took both gold mines and then MisterCool takes one. So way back in, using their map control. In general, Diontep and Klunee are being a little sloppy with their gold right now, kind of floating. But I think they're taking the foot off the gas pedal a little bit just because they know how far ahead they are.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, Diontep will not be able to really take a third now. They kind of blocked the way out of the space here, and he cannot really take any bases up here or here. At least not right now. So yeah, let's see. I mean, and we have dragons now from MisterCool, and I think there's no advanced workshop, right? There's only a few archers and snakes. Okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, but
the dragons
workers
are super late. I mean, they're gonna have like 3 dragons, so. Actually, advanced workshop would be a pretty good thing to transition to. Diontep Klunee playing a little overly safe with the double towers.
Maybe they don't realize how far they are ahead. Maybe they don't.
No, I think they're trying to be super safe against like a super big all-in. I think is what they're trying to do here.
Makes sense.
But yeah, there's a little bit of a danger if they sit back too much and let Cool and Jawesome like macro up. But again, I mean, they're barely securing their natural bases here, whereas
yeah, but they move out now.
Team Glaba, they've been mining for like 10 minutes here. So,
but now we have like 120 supply or something, versus close to 60 or maybe 70 or 80 supply. So should be a very, very one-sided battle now. And Jawesome kind of suiciding wolves now. Not like this.
Yeah, I was trying to get on top of the archers, but just not enough.
Yeah, nice reaction from Diontep with the Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, this force is just pretty strong with the archer and the snake DPS, and then there's plenty of meat shield in front. So,
but 2 archers will be picked off now by the wolves here, I think, or not?
Well, yeah, maybe. I think that's not even gonna matter.
There's no wall for Jawesome on this side, unfortunately.
Yeah. But against Archer Snake, the wall would just die pretty quick anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good trade though in the middle of the map, MisterCool. Overall, I thought MisterCool's micro was pretty good throughout this series. I thought he showed some really good control.
Jawesome pulling the workers now, but yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah, there's so much here for Team Glaba.
Well, there's a Drake. There's a Drake. Maybe the Drake can do something. Let's see how MisterCool.
Yeah, but even the archers is enough, you know. Yeah, so this series kind of went a little bit how we expected, I guess. Both games kind of quick rushes. Curious to see how much practice each team put in so far. It does feel like Klunee, Diontep had a more clean plan for each map.
Yeah.
Just like the way they walled on this map, and then their rush with the archers on the first map. I felt everything was pretty cleanly executed as far as game plan went.
Yeah.
Whereas Jawesome, MisterCool, I mean, kind of going for the dragons in both games. A little bit questionable in my opinion. I wonder how much practice they actually put in, like seeing if this would work against people, you know, rather than just theory crafting.
But the control from the dragons is nice actually, and the archers slowly dying. So MisterCool really putting in the work now. Although it's like a losing battle.
Yeah, the thing is, even if all the archers die and the dragons clean everything up, there's just no workers left by that point. I mean, the amount of Raider Soldier is going to kill every ground unit. Probably pick off the Dragon Lairs even, to be honest. Double Advanced Workshop coming behind, so the Dragons, you know, don't have any long-term staying power here.
Yeah. And Jawesome now losing his last 3 workers and will be out of mining. Let's see if MisterCool maybe tries to play on his own.
Now, so remind me, this is a Square Roots team, is that correct?
Diontep and no. Yeah. MisterCool and Jawesome are Square Roots team.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think overall no wait. Yeah, yeah. So it's Square Root, it's Avocado Lord. Who's the 5th player?
Holy?
Holy, okay.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know how good he is. But kind of thinking of it strategically for Square Root, this is not the worst result, just because I feel like Jawesome and MisterCool might be 2 of the weaker players on the team. And if Square Root gets a 2-3-0 himself, and Avocado Lord gets some points against me, like this series is still pretty 50-50, even after this 3-0. So.
Yeah, I mean, both games were pretty much build order losses, in my opinion. Due to the fact that we have like one first game, it was the decision to go for fast dragons into a lot of archers from 2 racks actually, which was like just unfortunate. And the second game, I think it was just the wrong strategy for this map, honestly. Like being aggressive on this map is like highly discouraged just from the layout, from how big it is and how everything is set up and how easy you can wall off certain parts of your natural and main. Meaning that like aggressive builds like 3 dens, especially when they are from home and not proxied somewhere, they are just not as efficient as you would think they are. So yeah, 2 times I think just luck was not
Even
on their part, but a bit of
I'm a little
more
questioning
preparation.
even the den choice, because I wonder if like dens, in addition to like workshops, would have been a nice play. Because like imagine Gatlings in supporting with the wolves. You know, the Gatlings have a lot more ability to punch through walls than wolves do.
Yeah.
So
Or
like
even
a proxy
catapults,
workshop. Yeah, catapults too. Like proxy workshop, Gatling, catapult, wolf. I feel like that could have been something that they could have considered, if they really want to push through the wall on this map. But
so MisterCool trying to have some fun.
Yeah, he's going in with his dragons here. But I mean, there's Ballista, there's other dragons already. So like, these dragons are gonna do some work because there's not a lot of anti-air.
Yeah.
But they would have to kill a lot here, like over and over and over to have even a chance here. And there's just the Ballista are too good.
Yeah.
The Ballista are way too good, and even honestly, like they would just lose the base trade as well.
Yeah. 100%. There's no way.
There's enough ground units to win the base trade here. So good games, nice work there from Team Glava.
So the first best of 3 of season 4 is concluded.